Hey up. Right, I've got the Hitchcock's Mirror Delete plugs fitted to the Continental GT now, and I have to say the upgrade to these Royal Enfield bar-end mirrors was a really good move. I'm really pleased with them. I've noticed that they actually have a fairly warm tint to them that's quite pleasing to the eye, and if you can get past the price, they are well worth the upgrade. Far better overall rearward vision than the standard mirrors that came with the bike. And as you would expect on one of the 650 twins, absolutely vibration free. It must easily be a couple of years ago now that I fitted the Royal Enfield Continental GT touring seat to the Interceptor. A big improvement in both comfort and aesthetics to the Interceptor, in my opinion. An opinion that seems to be shared by a lot of Interceptor owners, because these seats are totally interchangeable between the two models. But that left me with a bit of a conundrum with the Continental GT project, because the only alternative really was to fit the same touring seat to the Continental GT, which I've already done. And I can't really fit an Interceptor seat to it because that would just look silly. So, what to do? When you're running a channel like this and you're turning out 2 videos a week, I think you reach a stage where you're reaching brain drain. You sort of reach a stage on a regular basis where you've just got so much going on, you're juggling with so many different projects that you can't see the trees for the forest. Now, back at the beginning of this month, of course, we had the competition results for the Motone photo competition, and the winning bike was a Royal Enfield Interceptor 650, and like me, the owner had fitted a Continental GT touring seat, but it also fitted the seat cowl, which looked absolutely awesome. And so I thought, just to put a bit of a twist on what essentially will be a very similar video to the Interceptor video, I'll put the new seat on and I'll also fit the seat cowl. But then something else happened. When I'm researching and buying products in, I usually check as many websites as I possibly can. Now, Hitchcock's have a good selection, as you know, of genuine Royal Enfield parts and accessories. Generally speaking, they're the same price as those from Royal Enfield UK, but occasionally, you know, you can save £1 or £2. And whilst looking for the Continental GT touring seat, I came across this. This is described on Hitchcock's site as the premium touring seat for the Continental GT. Obviously, the general shape is the same, but it's made of different materials. I was confused because I hadn't seen it on Royal Enfield UK's site, so I went back and had a look, and no, it wasn't there. So it appears that only Hitchcock's are stocking this at the moment. It is, as you can see, a genuine Royal Enfield part, and you would expect with a name like Premium Touring Seat that it would be more expensive than the original touring seat, but it's not. I mean, I can't remember exactly what I paid for the original touring seat, but this is about £20 or £30 cheaper. And the original touring seat wasn't particularly expensive. I think it was about £120. Now, this seat incorporates what Royal Enfield call their 3D netting system. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but I'm presuming that it's some form of tight netting that goes over the foam before the seat's covered, that distributes body weight evenly over the surface of the seat so that you get fewer pressure points. Pressing the surfaces of the seat with my fingers, I couldn't really detect whether it was softer or harder, but it did definitely have a different sort of quality feel to it. The resistance is definitely different, but it's hard to sort of put your finger on what the difference is. I also tested the original comfort seat in the same way, and that felt different again, so there definitely is a difference between the new premium comfort seat and the original comfort seat or touring seat, and of course the standard OEM seat that the bike comes with. Before we take a closer look at this seat, I would like to just discuss fitting new seats, because a new seat, whether it's made by a third party or whether it's original equipment, quite often will be a bit of a pig to fit the first couple of times you put it on. This wasn't a problem in the old days with metal seat pans, but of course nowadays they are all injection moulded ABS, or the quality ones are anyway. And this material is affected by all sorts of different factors, which could include anything from the way it's been stored, the ambient temperatures, and also the tension of the seat covering. This is perfectly normal for a new seat. Everything is new and tight, and it needs a little bit of use and a little bit of time to sort of bed in and relax into its intended position. I know Sam at Merton had some issues with the new LC seats for the Triumphs when he first brought them out, where people just expected them to slide easily into place like their old seat that had been on for months or years, and because initial fitting was a bit awkward they thought there were a problem. And I've had dozens of such comments over the years on this channel. In fact, I remember when I bought the comfort seat for the T120, which was an OEM Triumph part, that was an absolute pain to fit. In fact, it was several months before I could take it off and refit it easily. And by contrast, I can remember when I fitted the Continental GT touring seat to the Interceptor, it slid on very easily, there were no hassle. So it's just the look of the drawer. It doesn't mean there's a problem if you find that your new seat is very tight and difficult to fit when you first get it. Don't forget, your original seat will have been fitted at least for weeks, probably for months, and by the time you receive your bike it will already have sort of completed that break-in process. Gentle perseverance and patience is the key. The two most obvious differences that distinguish this seat either from the standard touring seat or from the standard OEM seat is the red stitching around the rider's seat panel. And the rider's seat panel itself is also very different. It's got an almost suede look to it, like a napped finish, but obviously it isn't. It's a synthetic material, and the closest material I can compare it to, or at least that's the way it feels, is that it's some sort of neoprene, the stuff that they make wetsuits from. I believe this is intended as some sort of anti-slip material, and it does work. And at first I wasn't sure about it because I do like to slide around and move around on my seat while I'm riding. Thankfully it doesn't affect your ability to do that, although there is a little bit more friction than with a smooth leatherette type vinyl material. Where these anti-slip or anti-slide properties do come into play though is at low speed. As you'll know if you own a Continental GT, at low speed there's no wind resistance against your chest, so most of your body weight is on your wrists or your palms. So your natural reaction is to engage your stomach muscles to take the pressure off your hands. The only problem with this, or at least I've found it to be a problem, is that your backside tends to slide forward along the seat, and you lose some of the advantage that engaging your stomach muscles give you, placing your weight back onto the palms of your hands. This doesn't remove that tendency completely, but it does make it much easier to hold your position. These sort of materials are finding the way onto motorcycle seats with some premium manufacturers, and it's nice to see that Royal Enfield have thought about the problems that riders encounter, and they've done what they can to mitigate it. So at the rear of this seat, just towards the front of the pillion pad, there are two threaded fittings, and these are the fixing points for your seat cowl. Once again, this is a genuine Royal Enfield accessory, and you can buy them colour coded. As far as I can tell, the colour coded ones for the Euro 5, the new colours for the Continental GT, are not yet available here in the UK, but Hitchcocks have the full complement of colours for the Euro 4, the older version. There are no two-tone versions, they're all just painted in one colour. And to key in with the Dr. Mayhem colour scheme on my bike, I went for the flat black version. I make that distinction because there is also a metallic black version. Obviously I will leave links for those people that are interested and want to have a look at what's available for their bike at Hitchcock's. I'll leave the link for the actual seat so that you're not hunting too much trying to find it. But as for the seat cowls, taking into account that different people will have different coloured bikes, I'll just leave a link to the general page that has the seat cowls on so you can pick out the colour you want to look at. These are made from injection moulded ABS as far as I can tell, and then expertly colour coded and lacquered to suit your colour scheme. Speaking as a retired panel sprayer, I honestly don't know how they do these for this price. The paint finish is extremely good, and if you were to buy one of these and take them into your local body shop to have it painted, I'm pretty sure that even for a single colour, the paint job would come out at more than this item costs painted. With your seat cowl, you'll also receive 2 countersunk stainless steel screws, or bolts, and 2 decorative Royal Enfield finishing pieces. Both are very high quality. The finishing pieces seem to be made from CNC machined aluminium and then anodised black, and again, going on the price that Royal Enfield charges for the bar end finishers alone, I don't know how they can include something of this quality in with this cowl kit at the asking price. I can't get my head around it. It does make you appreciate just how much you must be getting ripped off with certain other brands. Now, it might be possible to fit this seat cowl with your seat fitted, but I think it's a recipe for disaster. You're gonna mark your cowl. So it's best if you remove your seat first before attempting to fit it. Now, at the back of the cowl there is a sort of a pocket that engages under the back of the seat pan. And then to hold everything securely in place, you need to line the holes up in the side of the seat cowl with those threaded fixings that are in the seat. It is a little bit fiddly because obviously it has to be a reasonably tight fit, so you're sort of working against the foam in your seat, which keeps trying to push everything out as you're trying to line it up. It just requires a little bit of gentle tenacity. Just line up the holes and then screw in the stainless steel screw, not forgetting to slot the aluminium finisher onto the screw first. Don't worry, I did set the rating the right way up later on. All in, this is a very cheap and easily achieved conversion that I personally believe really classes the bike up. A far better alternative to the single seat conversion in my book for a true café racer look without losing the convenience of having a dual seat. And it is really easy to swap it backwards and forwards as you require. As I've said, I will leave links in the video description down below. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video and my other videos, and in doing so helping to support this channel. I really do appreciate it. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you're not a subscriber, I'd appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. It helps me out and it helps the channel to progress. And if you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell and ensure that your notifications are enabled. That way you'll be informed whenever I upload a new video. I seem to have some excess footage left over on this video, so what I'll do is I'll let the music play out with some Royal Enfield Continental GT motorcycle erotica. I am of course going to be back next week, so until then please ride safely and I'll see you soon.